Life is like a test while your mama feel.
I do believe that education is very important because nowadays for a decent job at like a fast food place, you need at least a high school diploma.
Bad Rebel.
It's often said that life is a game. Like any other game, winning and losing depends on the decisions we make while playing.
In life, we are faced with two choices. You either get an education and do the right thing or drop out of school. In America, 8,300 youth drop out of high school every day.
So it's obvious that many people choose to drop out. This decision raises many questions. We spoke to different people in hopes of answering these questions.
The biggest question is why people drop out in the first place.
Honestly, I feel high school isn't for everybody, and I'm not saying that I was in the street with drugs and gangs and stuff. It just wasn't for everybody. I didn't like it. I stopped going, and that's what it was.
Life is complicated, and it's very, very, very complicated for our children today. And I'm sure 50 years ago it was complicated, and this generation has their version of complications. So if you're living in a shelter, or you're living in an abusive home, or your family is living at the poverty level, and last night you didn't eat, and you come to school at 8 o'clock and I say, whip out your math book, we're getting ready to do this algebra equation. And you're just like, right? Like, you're just like, really? Because I'm hungry. Or before I came here, I had to make 3 stops to drop off my siblings. And as schools, at times you don't know how to actually pay attention to that.
I used to get bullied, so I always, I felt, it was like a week that I wanted to just drop out and not go to school and just run away from everything.
Like, that was one of my big problems. Like, I get distracted easily, and then if my head's not in it, my heart's not in it, I don't want to do it. So that's why I stopped going to high school.
Grew up on 105 in Pine Grove. That's right off of Liberty. Elementary school, I had a lot of fun. Met a lot of people that I still hang out with today. Junior high school, same thing. I met a lot of people, but I don't hang out with as much people as I hang out with from elementary school. In junior high school, I remember going to a lot of parties. I remember hanging out with my friends. I remember going to the mall, arcade, movies. My little brother always told me, he's like, yeah, you think you're doing what you're doing now in junior high school, wait till you get to high school. Everything is gonna change. It's gonna be about the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress, who you hang out with, who's doing this, who's doing that. I felt like I wasn't really ready for that change yet, but then as it came, I just had to deal with it. I dropped out of high school. I stopped going. I didn't really care. I wanted to make money. I wanted to make fast cash. I wanted to be cool. I wanted to do everything a teenager was supposed to do, or I thought was supposed to do.
Studies show that students that drop out of high school are not eligible for 90% of U.S. jobs. The next question raised is, does dropping out of high school automatically make you a loser in the game of life?
The streets won't give you a pension, a job will. I got that saying my first time I went to, I believe it was Central Bookings. I used to hustle back in the day. I used to rob people back in the day for fast cash or whatever. It didn't really pay off.
And so a lot of people drop out of high school, go into the drug market as a way to support themselves and support their families, and of course that becomes a fast track into the criminal justice system. And in particular, over the last 40 years or so, we've done what's called move towards mandatory minimums, meaning that judges don't have a discretion. You get caught for drugs, you do time, and then once you're in, you're in.
I believe if I was in school, I wouldn't have got arrested. I believe that if I had stayed in school, I could have avoided that whole situation. But me wanting to be, I don't know, I guess, smart or slick or fast or whatever you want to call it.
And so your life suddenly goes from what are the decisions I'm going to make to help me be successful to how do I avoid this and how do I avoid that and how did I find myself here and how do I get out of this problem.
Kept getting arrested. And I was like, yo, when is this gonna stop? I was like, yo, I can't change myself. I can't stop myself from getting arrested unless I actually stop myself from doing wrong.